Welcome back to House of the Dragon. Every episode just gets better, so I'm not even going to assume that this has a chance of disappointing me.
It's been near 6 years since I last saw my lord husband. Will he live?
So we've done a 6-year time jump? Is this Rhaena or Bela?
Ominous calamity after calamity. My brother cares only for the history books.
Treading a mighty thin line here, Vaymond.
But what of the Velaryon line? Is it to be snuffed out?
Dragonstone is looking better than ever. Ooh, we've never seen it from this angle over here. That looks just a little dangerous. I like that the whole island is volcanic as well. That's kind of cool. Very reminiscent of old Valyria. Why is it juicy? Oh. So dragon eggs are... Hey, Damon. Like in a pod that the dragon births? Interesting. Don't know if I needed to know that, but interesting. Is she pregnant?
And landed.
Viserys.
Mouth.
Killed.
Felled. It is a related word.
Close
I didn't
enough.
expect you to learn High Valyrian in a day, Jace.
Joffrey, come.
Oh, look at little Joffrey.
Vaymond cares only about Driftmark and the Velaryon line.
Yeah, doesn't give a shit about how it's going to affect you guys.
To King's Landing, then.
Why do I get the feeling no one's even going to be here to greet them? Because there isn't anyone. It's rather rude.
Is contingent on the harbour.
Sitting in the king's chair.
Thank you for that exhaustive accounting, Lord Kingsbury.
Shit. For that exhaustive accounting. He's old, man. Be nice.
I trust they've been welcomed as befits their station.
As you instructed, Lord Hound.
You dickhead.
What grounds could there be
What
for...
indeed, Lord Beesbury? What indeed?
We shall hear Princess Rhaenyra's petition.
If you don't want him on the council, then kick him off the council. Don't be an asshole to him.
My lords, must greet our guests.
Yes, this should be interesting. Ooh, I hate these motherfuckers. The cobwebs would indicate to me he hasn't been working on his hobby projects very much. I'm assuming too decrepit and ready to die to do anything like that. I'm a little nervous to see what he looks like. I'm sure it's not going to be pretty. Ooh, oh man. Just let go, man. Just let go. You can't be enjoying any second of being alive right now.
Who goes there? Help me up.
This is making me kind of sad, actually. I like Viserys. He's a good dude. You know, good enough. They've done a wonderful job on the makeup and the visual effects here.
You are to affirm your position for Viserys. To be Corlys Velaryon's successor.
Like, I really want him to do that too, but I kind of just want you to leave him alone, man. Like, it hurts my soul to look at him.
This is Aegon.
Oh, they've already had 2 kids. Okay.
And this is Viserys.
That is a name. Fit for a king.
That genuinely breaks my heart, dude.
It's Diana, Your Grace.
Deep breaths.
If it please you. And I put it on his table. When I turned,
Oh, I get it.
I didn't see him. I asked him to stop, Your Grace.
Do you feel bad for her because you think you have to kill her now? Or, like, what is this? You're freaking me out, Allison. You're freaking me out.
I haven't told anyone.
You told Sir Eric, and Talia, and now me. And though I believe you were not to blame, others might not be so trusting.
Oh, God.
The tea, Your Grace.
Can't have any bastards. Ugh. Ugh. This scene is so gross. This is unbelievably uncomfortable.
Get up!
Oh, nice.
You are no son of mine.
Jesus. I'm so sorry I married him to you. I'm so sorry. God, that whole situation is fucked up.
I do not rule, as you well know.
Yeah,
My father and I are mere stewards of the king's will and wisdom.
In blinks and wheezes. I'd be surprised if he could remember his own name, or if you could.
King Viserys' condition has worsened since you saw him last. Assured the father is just and commands me to forget the accusations you have held in this room today.
Lovely to see you again.
You thought you could swing Kristoff's Morningstar. And you almost took your own head off.
If you have something to say, come over and say it.
Everyone's staring at us.
Doesn't matter what they think.
I agree for the most part, but man, you gotta get yourself a new haircut, Viserys. I've been holding my tongue on it, but that hair's gotta go. Oh, here he is. Your lovely, uncle? Can't remember the exact relation, but yeah, he's one of the greatest swordsmen in all the Seven Kingdoms now.
Nephews?
So he already saw them.
Have you come to train?
Not with you. Not with you. I feel really bad for Viserys right now. He's like, what did I do? Like, I've done nothing. I mean, he did cut out Aemon's eye. It's a great shot right there.
Raised her admirably.
You honor me, Princess.
Might I speak to the Princess Elena?
There must be a way you can subtly tell her,
Princess.
like, look, I didn't kill your son. According to everybody else, of course I did, but I did not kill him.
And let us betroth Lena's children to mine. Baela will be queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
A generous offer.
Yeah, not a bad deal.
Or a desperate one.
What does it matter?
Why does everyone always see these things as desperation?
If you wish me to bear it, then defend me. And my children.
Don't know how you expect him to get out of this bed, Rhaenyra. Jesus, man, that's very, very sad. It makes me so sad. And so uncomfortable to see him like this. Ugh. And it's literally rotting away. Ugh, the noises that they've done with... like the way he's breathing, that's awful.
You would not be so bold as to supplant its rightful heir. No, you only speak for yourself and for your own ambition.
You'll have chance to make your own petition, Princess Rhaenyra. Do serve Aemon the courtesy of allowing his to be heard.
You know, I actually have to be on Alicent's side here. You'll get your turn.
This is about the future and survival of my house, not yours.
It's not illegal to slap
This
him.
is a matter of blood. Not.
Oh shit, no way.
He's of House Targaryen.
Looks like he's come to your rescue, Rhaenyra. That is, if he doesn't die just trying to get to the throne. Oh, this is getting me a little emotional as well. He really loves his daughter. His family, honestly. Like, he loves these people.
I will sit the throne today.
Seriously, man, don't kill yourself on the way up there. There's a lot of sharp swords everywhere. Oh, Daemon. See, he's kind of a piece of shit, but he's still got his brother's back.
Who might offer keener insight into Lord Corlys's wishes is the Princess Rhaenys.
All right, Rhaenys, ball's in your court. How are you gonna play this? Fuck you, Vaemond.
To his true-born son, Viserys Velaryon.
Wow.
His mind never changed. As a matter of fact, the Princess Rhaenyra has just informed me of her desire to marry her sons Jace and Luke to Lord Corlys's granddaughter.
Oh shit, okay.
A proposal to which I heartily agree.
Well,
get fucked.
Settled. Again.
Again.
I hereby reaffirm.
You break law.
Oh.
And centuries of tradition.
You really gonna say that to the king?
Daughter as heir. That is no true Valarian. I will not see it ended on the account of this. Say it.
Come on, man. Say it. You went this far.
Her children are bastards!
You may have just fucked up real bad there, man.
Is a whore.
Oh! What are you doing, man? You have a death wish.
We'll have your tongue for that.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
He can keep his tongue.
Call the maesters! Father?
I am so thoroughly shocked by that. Holy shit. That shocked the fuck out of me. Oh my god. So we just saw a man get his head cut in half. Could you pass the dumplings?
May the smith mend the bonds that have been broken for far too long. And to Vaemon Velaryon, may the gods give him rest.
Oh, you know, you can keep that on. I have a feeling I'm not gonna like what I see. You can keep it on. Yeah, put it back on, please. Oh my god.
He's no longer a handsome one.
No, not really.
If indeed it ever was.
Ooh. Oh, you look so bad, man.
And for the sake of this old man, who loves you all so dearly.
I would put aside the conflict for you, Viserys. I would.
But I must admit that no one has stood more loyally by his side than his good wife.
That is true. That is true.
We have more in common than we sometimes allow.
Look at you two. You're actually reaching some middle ground here. Again, spoilers, this shit ain't gonna last for more than like 2 seconds, but this is really nice. And extremely tragic, because this proves right here, if they put aside their differences, they could make this work. Like, everything could be fine. Everything could be fine if they allowed it to be.
But if you ever wish to know what it is to be well satisfied, all you have to do is ask.
Chase.
Just let it go. He's just a little shit stirrer like Daemon. Just let it go.
To you and your family's good health, dear uncles.
Very gracious of you.
To you as well.
Let us have some music.
Yes. Let's get a jig going. Let's dance.
Excuse me.
Oh, you dickhead. You fucking asshole. Oh, that's cute. This is now like the 6th time in this episode that Viserys has almost got me to cry, man. I feel so bad for this man. He couldn't even stay there and enjoy this happy moment because of how much he's suffering. Ah! Why must everything suck? Oh shit, no. No.
To the health of my nephews, each of them handsome, wise.
Don't say it.
Strong.
Ah, you fucking asshole.
Do you not think yourself strong?
You don't know how much I love that look that Daemon and Aemon just shared right there. The two of them. Oh. Again, I can't be spoiling anything, but man, I am excited for things to come.
The king and I would both like that.
Crazy enough, I actually believe Alicent. I think she really is trying to get along with Rhaenyra right now. Oh, look who it is. Haven't seen you in a little while. I like the new hairstyle.
The prince.
Prince Aegon.
It is you. You are the one. You must do this.
No, he's talking about... He thinks you're Rhaenyra. This... Oh, again, that breaks my heart. Very, very good episode once again, but that was a really sad one, man. Well, we are officially at the point in the story where this shit is about to really go down. This whole episode was pretty much a goodbye to Viserys, and just the final bits of prep work needed to be done, before the Dance of Dragons really begins in full, which, if I read that final scene correctly, which I don't see how I could misread it, Viserys being gone now, yeah, it's about to go down. The floodgates have been opened. The episode is called The Lord of the Tides, but that's really not the main point of the episode. Like, obviously, Vaemond challenging the succession of Driftmark is, kind of what gets things rolling here, what gets everybody in the same place. But the episode, to me, seemed to really be about Viserys finally passing away, and the ultimate question of, how is Alicent and all these other people, how are they going to proceed with this all? Are they going to honor his wishes and have Rhaenyra ascend the throne? Are they going to betray his wishes and have Aegon go on the throne? Through the season thus far, I never would have questioned it. I'm like, Alicent obviously is going to choose her son. But throughout this episode, even though I, know how it goes down in the book, they did a great job showcasing, what might have been. Alicent and Rhaenyra did get along pretty well. They really were finding common ground here. The love they have for Viserys was starting to overcome the insane amount of tension and hatred that the two families have built up over all this time. But those damn children, they, couldn't let it go, it seems. The way I kind of read it is the adults in that room had an extremely close connection to Viserys. And to see him in that state, it really did make them all reconsider how they've treated one another. They're like, this really could be it for him. How are we going to proceed with this all? Is it going to be war, or is there a way we can find some kind of peace? But the children, not really knowing Viserys all that well, don't seem to give a shit about that. They only care about their own grudges and conflicts that have developed as a result of their parents. Like, the moment where Lucerys cuts out Aemon's eye, that would never have happened if it wasn't for how Alicent and Rhaenyra, pitted the kids against each other. And now that Viserys is trying to make everything right, well, too fucking late. The kids have developed their own feelings on the matter, and they are not gonna let it go. And I like how the moment that kind of tipped Aemon over the edge was just seeing Lucerys laughing while looking in his direction. So the audience and the characters, don't know for sure if Lucerys was laughing at Aemon. Doesn't matter. It's all about perception. That is a key theme on this show, Game of Thrones, and all the books. Perception is key, and it seemed like a slight, so Aemon pushed for conflict, and conflict is certainly what they're all gonna get. I also find it really sad that in Viserys's dying moments, he's trying to once again reaffirm, Rhaenyra, you are the one that should take the throne. You understand the Song of Ice and Fire, it should be you. But in his, old senile age, can't recognize the fact that he's talking to Alicent or clarify it, so Alicent takes it as, on his deathbed, he told me he wanted Aegon to be king. Which I hate it, obviously, because god damn it, why can't we just have nice things? But I love it. Because it once again doesn't really put Alicent as the villain. She's not really Cersei. Because in her mind, if her husband, the king's dying wish is to have Aegon take the throne, then I probably would also challenge Rhaenyra's claim at that point and be like, no, man, the thing he wished for right before he died was for my son to take the throne. I don't know, it just adds a layer of complexity to it that I like. And holy shit, the shock of how they killed Vaemond Velaryon. Oh my god, man. I actually don't remember in the book when he dies or how he dies. I'm inclined to believe that that is not how it happened in the book. I feel like I would have remembered Daemon cutting his head in half in the middle of the throne room. But regardless, I think it was a really interesting change. I don't think it really affects the story in any major ways. Again, I can't remember when he dies, so there is the possibility he was supposed to do more stuff before that. But I mean, you can give those things to other characters. He was such an asshole. It was kind of nice to get the win of seeing him be relieved of that pesky brain of his. Oh, wait a minute. I kind of think that Vaemond was the guy that Rhaenyra had his tongue cut out, or she either had him beheaded or had his tongue cut out for him saying these things. But they have really gone out of their way to make Rhaenyra more likable than she is in the books. Like, in the books, I think she's a really interesting, likable character. But it's heavily implied that she did have Laenor killed. Again, I'm pretty sure it was her who gave the order to have... I want to say she had Vaemond's tongue cut out. I can't remember for sure. But here they had it, so, she had nothing to do with it, really. It was Daemon's choice. I don't know. I just find it sometimes a little frustrating that they want to make Rhaenyra the hero as much as possible. Because, again, I think in the Dance of Dragons, if you have to pick a hero character, Rhaenyra's the one. But she's not a good person either. And I hope that they stay with that on the show so that eventually you're like, I want to support Rhaenyra, but I don't know if I can. We'll see how it all plays out. Let's jump into the technicals. Writing of the episode was superb. Again, every character interaction, every scene, every bit of tension, every weird look that someone gave someone else, it's all built up off of decisions and things that characters have done in previous episodes. There is not a single thing here that is just thrown in there because. Thematically, there's almost always a deeper meaning to every scene that you're watching. Narratively, the scenes flow in a very constructive forward path. And even though this entire episode, if you're looking for actual plot progression, there's not a whole lot that happens. Really, the main thing that happened is Viserys died, and Vaemond very spectacularly. The point of the episode is more to show, again, where these characters are at right here and now. Because this is a pivotal, an extremely pivotal moment in the show's narrative with Viserys passing away. With him no longer around, the story is going to hit a pretty breakneck pace. Or, well, I say that, but it's not entirely true. But compared to what we've been getting, things are going to be speeding up. So to have this one last moment to, again, see where everyone's at, what is their headspace, what do they hold a grudge against now compared to, 16 years ago? It all had a major purpose and characterized each character rather well, including the new ones that have now been recast again. So for writing, I'm going to do a 10 out of 10. Editing in the episode was also pretty superb. There were some slower scenes that they used some very creative edits where they would kind of bounce off of wordless expressions that people would be, quote unquote, saying to each other while other conversations are being had. And in that way, you kind of spice up the pacing of the scene and the interest that the audience is supposed to hold in it. And there's also some incredibly uncomfortable long takes that they would hold on. Specifically with Viserys, pretty much anytime Viserys was on screen, the editor refused to cut away to other people or to even other angles of Viserys sometimes. And it seemed very intentional. You're meant to feel really uncomfortable and, pitiful towards Viserys. Looking at him is supposed to be kind of painful. So naturally, the editor makes you look at him for a long time. I also found the editing for the scene when Vaemond was killed to be very, very good. Because again, there's very slow edits to start, and then it builds up speed as the scene becomes more and more tense and, tempers are flaring. And then the edits become very, very slow, leading up to the moment when Vaemon gets his head cut off. And then the edits really rapidly fire, like getting to everyone's reaction and just the chaos of how sudden that moment was. Like, it was really good. I think I'll do another 10 out of 10. Cinematography was another really strong point in this episode. There were some shots that were just gorgeous, like that shot of Viserys laying in bed with Rhaenyra coming up to him in the middle of the night, the storm going on outside. That looks so good, man. That being said, there were a few shots during the dinner scene that, while certainly not being bad or mediocre by any means, just didn't quite live up to the spectacle, I guess, of the rest of the episode. So instead of a 10 out of 10, I got to do 9 out of 10, but it was damn good. Acting in the episode, gonna get a 10 out of 10 because of Paddy Considine. His performance as Viserys is really incredible. Like, to see him go from the, lighthearted, nice, sort of funny guy that he was in the first episode to slowly dying over the course of the entire season and now being this decrepit old man literally in his last hours of life. And even though he could have really portrayed this as a super over theatrical or really forced kind of thing, it felt so real. His grief and pain over not only his physical ailments, but over what's happening to his family. Like, it really is breaking his heart to see everyone fighting like this. And oh man, would it break his heart to know what's coming down the line. But not only him, like Olivia Cook and Emma Darcy, their interactions in this episode were incredibly good. Very subtle performances that again feel real. It doesn't feel like actors putting on a certain type of character. It feels like real people, despite how theatrical all of this really is. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Costumes and makeup, fantastic. Some of the dresses that Alicent and Rhaenyra were wearing in this episode sincerely wanted me to find the art and costume directors of this show and personally thank them, because god damn does everyone look good. And on the flip side, god damn does Viserys look awful. I know there's some VFX help there, but the practical makeup that they've used on him as well, fantastic work. He looks appropriately like a corpse. I also really like the looks that they've given Aegon and Aemond. Like, Aegon wears really plain, I guess aristocratic looking kind of clothes, whereas Aemond wears like dark leathers and he's, the rugged warrior of the two. They've done a really good job characterizing everyone with their costumes. That's gonna be another 10 out of 10 for me. Set design was fantastic. We once again didn't get too many new sets. A lot of these places we've seen before. I think where they have the dinner is new, and it looked very nice. Also, the hall that they're in Dragonstone, that was new. The location when Daemon is getting the dragon eggs, that was new. And both those and the old sets that we've already seen look so good. I mean, that's never been a problem for Game of Thrones or this show. They have a budget and a crew who are clearly quite talented. So I'm gonna do another 10 out of 10. Visual effects. They were very, very good. No dragons in this episode, interestingly enough, which kind of makes sense thematically, just because Viserys is actually quite afraid of them, and since this is his goodbye episode, it makes sense that there wouldn't be any dragons to show up. But the CGI they did on his face to show, the gaping wound in his cheek and the missing eye looked really good. Not so good that it made me think it's not an effect, though. There are some moments where you can kind of see the effect. I don't think it could have been much better. Like, those gripes I had were definitely nitpicking, so I'm gonna do a 9 out of 10. And finally, the sound design. I will always harp on it for that theme song not being different, sorry. But the rest of the music was very good. There were some particularly emotional bits with Viserys that moved me quite a bit. It definitely got me close to crying. But because of that damn theme song, I got to do a 9 out of 10. And that gives this episode a 9.6 out of 10. The best episode of the season thus far? the most emotional for me, hands down. Specifically the most tragic one, I think, just because, again, you clearly saw in this episode how everything could be resolved. Like, this truly could be squashed here and now, and it won't. And they just won't let it happen. Or in some cases feel like, they can't let it happen. Viserys' dying wish was for Aegon to take the throne, kind of stuff. When they announced that they were going to make this show, I had some serious doubts. The ending of Game of Thrones left me very questionable about how well they might adapt this story. And then after reading Fire and Blood myself, I had even more doubts just because it is such a complicated story to tell. I wasn't sure they were going to be able to tell it in a way that would either be faithful to the books or just incredibly confusing. And they have somehow managed to make it both not confusing and true to the books, which, bravo, man, bravo. What will happen now that Viserys has passed away? Will Aegon take the throne? Will it be Rhaenyra? We'll find out next week. I will see you all there, and that's about it.